I talk to my kids about everything. I was sexually molested when I was 4 and 5 by a family friend. I was sexually abused and molested by a family member. When I was in high school, I was sexually assaulted by classmates. Me and Leon first met, like we were still in like the friend stage or whatever. I was raped. Live it up, live it up, live it up. Still 10 years from now, I see the person that I've became and the things that I have, and everybody's like, oh, well, you don't have nothing to show for it. Not all abundance and success is about money. I feel like I'm successful in a lot of different ways, especially when it comes to my personal growth. I'm not as angry as that person is. I have a lot of things to deal with. I still have a lot of things that I need to learn and let go of and change and forgive about my past. Hence why I don't really talk to my family. At the same time, I feel like my peace is more important than opening up old wounds that are never going to heal. I don't even know what I'm saying now. Well, whatever. Leon wants to go do that. He wants to go to the doctors and do an appointment for all the kids. And for myself too, because I want to see the doctor. I believe I have carpal tunnel in my right arm. Like if I've been sitting in front of the computer for at least 4 to 6 hours, and then the next day, like my whole arm is on fire. Like it's, most of it comes from sitting on a computer all day, but for the most part, I think the repetitive motions of doing the same thing over and over again with my arm, with this arm, because this is my dominant arm, it's pretty much catching up to me. Like my age is starting to catch up to me. I don't know if I mentioned this on my channel before, but if I know I have a lot of new people on my channel. I don't judge anybody for their parenting choices. That's your business. It's your household. It's your kid. You gave birth to that whole being. So whatever you choose to do with your child is your business. I don't see how anybody's wrong if they choose to breastfeed or bottle feed, formula feed, if they choose to vaccinate or not vaccinate, if they choose to homeschool, not homeschool, if they choose to spank or don't spank. That's your choice. As long as it doesn't affect my kid and your kid is not bullying my kid and your kid is not a danger to society, you boo. I don't see the whole point of bashing and degrading other women, especially other moms, when being a mom is like the hardest job in the world. I don't know how anybody can bash somebody else for being a mother to their child, regardless if everything else is different. As long as the child is bathed, taken care of, fed, nurtured, cares about what they choose and choose not to do with their kids. It's none of your business. If it doesn't affect your home, mind your business. We are on a delayed schedule when it comes to vaccines. One is because of Kina, her food allergies. She was allergic to eggs at one point, and a lot of vaccines have egg protein in them. So we would she wouldn't get those vaccines, and then when she was able to have those vaccines and she was like eligible for them or whatever, I gave her the choice. I broke it down to her again about what's inside of the vaccines and everything else. Like if it was my choice, my kids wouldn't be vaccinated, but because of the fact that it's not my body, I can't tell them what they can and cannot do with their body. And that's something I promote within, like, in my household with my kids, is that it's your body, it's your choice. If you don't want nobody to touch you, you say no. If they don't listen, you have a right to defend yourself because it's your body. It's all about respect. That's how I look at it with my kids. Like, you have to respect. If you want respect, you have to give respect. And if somebody tells you no, it means no. If they tell you to stop, it means stop. So it's all about them learning respect, because if they don't want it done to them, then they need to understand that they have to also give other people that same respect as well. We're on a delay schedule, and that was because of Akina and her food allergies. And then when Journey was about 4 months, he got 3 shots, and then he had seizures. His fever wouldn't go down with ibuprofen or with Tylenol. Like, we did the mixture of both. Leon did the mixture of both of them, and this is when me and Leon were separated. The boys were with Leon, and Journey had a seizure when, from what I was understanding, what he told me was that Journey had 3 seizures, and before they even made it to the hospital. So when Journey got the shots, and his blood pressure, I keep saying blood pressure, his fever wouldn't go down, then that's when we knew, like, me and Leon came to the conclusion that it was the vaccines. Like, everybody else was just like, it's not vaccine um, caused, but I'm like, if he wouldn't have got the vaccines, he wouldn't have got the fever, and the fever wouldn't have caused the seizures. So from that point on, we decided that instead of the kids getting like multiple shots at one time and during one visit, they're only allowed to get one shot at a time each time they get a vaccine shot. For the longest, like for a while, they weren't vaccinated, but we slowly, like, I think once Akina went to like 5th or 6th grade, no, 5th or 6th, I cannot think this morning, like, once Akina was like 5 or 6, I think, that's when she started questioning me about it, because I think from like 5 to 6, yeah, like, yeah, because Journey didn't start really getting vaccines again until he was about like 2 or 3, I want to say. And if you guys have been following me for the longest, 2 years ago when we first moved down here, Journey couldn't go to school for like 2 weeks because he didn't have his vaccines, a couple of his vaccines that he was supposed to get, but they were expecting him to get like immediately, and I'm like, that's not how it works, boo-boo. It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, so that's when Akina started questioning me about vaccines. And then Andre was asking, and then at that time Andre was like on this why phase about everything. So yeah, and it kind of like opened my mind then to discuss them, like to talk to them about certain things that happens to their bodies, what happens if they put something inside their body, you know, and the whole spew, whatever it would help them understand when they were that age. I even pulled up like videos and documentaries about vaccines, and I let them decide what was best for them, and they all were like, no, we're scared, we want it. And I'm like, okay. As much as I want to shelter them and control like their outlook on life and everything, I can't. And I'm learning that the hard way as they get older. The more opinions they have, the more perception, more beliefs that they develop over the years, and their perception on life and their reality is different than what I see. Because at the end of the day, they're their own person, and they're going to grow up to be their own person and do their own thing, regardless of my opinions or my beliefs. So yeah, ever since then, like, I discussed to them about what's the purpose of having the shot, why you need the shot. When Akina was doing allergy testing for like the scratches on her back, I would explain to her why we had to do this, what was the purpose for it. I didn't want her to feel like I was torturing her, even though she still feels like I was torturing her. Now that she's in 7th grade, I feel like it's her choice to decide what it is that she wants to do. Sorry. I feel like it's her choice to decide what she wants to do with her body. I don't use any birth control because it just fucks me up, and there's just no point of me even trying to get on it just because I want to prevent it, when I could just monitor my cycle and decide what's best for myself. And Leon doesn't like me on birth control either. So, and the same would be their choice when they get older and they're at that age where they feel like they're ready to be sexually active. I will make it their choice, but I will also educate them about their cycle and how it works and how they can go about avoiding getting pregnant. But as you guys can tell, they're not interested right now. For the longest, Akina was saying, like, she's like, oh, I want kids, I want this, I want that by the time I'm 23. And then once we had Araya and she saw like how much work it goes into and like how tired I was, because in the beginning I didn't really like allow them to do much because they wanted to help so much. They were like, we'll change baby's diaper, and I'm like, no, because she was so small, and so I was just like, no. But they saw how tired I was all the time trying to work and take care of a newborn, and on top of not on top of that, but like I was just exhausted from trying to breastfeed and take care of her and take care of them. So, and then like how things were with me and Leon, because me and Leon never seen each other because he was working all the time, and then I started working, so we were never really like, ever seeing each other. So like now that she's seen that, she's just like, no, I don't want no kids. I don't need a husband because he's gonna kill him. And Andre's like, I don't want to have to pay nobody any attention. I want all the attention on me. And that's just a Leo for you. Like, that's just how she is. So yeah, I'm that type of parent that as much as I like do for them, I'm actually very open and honest with my kids. I don't beat around the bush. I don't sugarcoat it. And if I make a mistake as a parent, I apologize to them. I tell them I'm sorry, I didn't know, And pretty much being the parent to my kids that I needed when I was growing up. And I see the huge difference in how they are and how I was as a child, especially at Akina's age. They do their little slick shit. They try their little slick shit. But to the extent that how I was when I was their age, is nothing compared to it. They're very good kids. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. And I don't know why I feel like every single time I'm gonna cry. And there's some things they are kind of like naive and kind of gullible about when it comes to other people and life skills, because I kind of coddled them a little too much. So it's like I can't like send my kids to the corner store and like go buy this for me. And if I'm in the grocery store and I forgot something in the car, I can't just be like, here's the key, go to the car and grab this and this. Like, I can't do that with my kids. They can't, when I say they can't follow directions, that's what I mean by they can't follow directions, because they'll forget. By the time they get to the car, they'll forget why they was going to the car. But I'm gonna finish this video because it needs to get done for today. It's already 12 o'clock. So these are the medication that the doctor prescribed. Leon isn't very happy about it, but hopefully it helps. The only thing that sucks, as you can see, it says causes drowsiness and dizziness. So his first instinct is to go to sleep.
Do you have any tape or glue over there?
No. So I looked them up. They're both like pain relievers for like nerve pain, so hopefully they work. One is like a non-steroid type, and then the other one is an actual, like, to target the actual nerve pain in the spine. So we'll see how it works, if it's even worth it.